Have you ever heard of someone so young, so determined that they changed the course of history? Joan of Arc was just a teenager when she stood up for what she believed in, and it cost her everything. But her story is unforgettable. Let me take you back to 15th century France. Joan was born in a tiny village called Domremy. She was just an ordinary girl, helping on the farm, praying in church, nothing out of the ordinary, right? But then, one day, everything changed. She started hearing voices. She said they were messages from saints, guiding her to save France. Imagine that, being a teenager and believing you're chosen by God to lead an army. At just 17, she did the unthinkable. She went to the French court and convinced Charles VII, the Dauphin, to trust her with his army. They must have thought she was crazy at first, a young girl, no military experience, claiming divine guidance. But then she led the troops to victory at Orleans. It was a miracle. People started seeing her as a savior. But not everyone believed in her. Joan was captured by enemy forces and handed over to the English. They put her on trial for heresy. Can you imagine? All she wanted was to help her country, and they accused her of being a witch. She stood tall, though. Even as they questioned her faith, her visions, her every word, she never backed down. In the end, they sentenced her to death. Just 19 years old. She was tied to a stake, flames rising around her, but she stayed strong. Witnesses said she called out to God with her last breath. It's heartbreaking, isn't it? Years later, they realized their mistake. She was declared innocent and eventually made a saint. Today, Joan of Arc is remembered as a symbol of bravery, faith, and resilience. Her story shows us that even one voice, no matter how small, can change the world. And that's the story of Joan of Arc, the girl who heard a calling and gave everything to follow it. What do you think? Would you have had her courage?